Hello, everyone, and welcome to LDM Radio Sports Talk. My name is Alfonso Caldero, and joining me this week is Dennis Herrera.
What's up?
This is the sports talk show that talks about current events and other sports relatable topics. So we're gonna break into the quick pandemic update. So the round of 16 for the MLS starts on Saturday. Local action. The Red Bulls look like they're in. They're the number 6 seed right now. And NYCFC is out. They only went 1-4 in the tournament.
Yikes.
So they might as well have just stayed home.
Right.
No new coronavirus cases, so their containment is working.
Nice.
They
have a good bubble.
Baby.
Yeah, that is a nice barometer for the NBA as well because they share the same facility, and a lot of soccer is being played worldwide. We'd have to take the whole half hour to break it down, but it is happening. So sports is going on all over the place.
Good. Soccer's one of those sports, it kind of makes you just want to drink at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, totally.
I'm okay with that.
And in the NHL, the training camps are ongoing. We're 3 days away from the teams going into the hub cities to go in their own little containment zone. Edmonton is where the Western Conference will be, and the Eastern Conference is going to be in Toronto. The preseason starts next week for the New York Rangers and New York Islanders. They will play against each other next Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun to see some hockey back in action in late July.
Absolutely.
Early August.
Absolutely. I personally can't wait. Next Saturday is when the qualifying round opens, so that's when the bell goes ding, 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 and everybody's ready to go.
Racing to the playoff positionings.
Yeah.
So are we trying to purposely lose for that number one seeding, or?
The chances of winning is 12.5%. So the 1 out of 8 chances of winning. It's a good consolation prize, but I don't think it's something to really go for, because then everybody's happy about that you lost, and then you're gonna be in the draft, and then you go in, and then
you get number 8.
Yeah, then you get the Knicks syndrome, where you just, no matter how bad you are, you end up just not getting the number 1 pick anyway.
Right. Anything that Dolan owns, I don't have real true faith in. It just seems irrational.
Yeah, the guy controls half of my sports life. So, so there's been 2 cases, 2 new cases since July 13th. Those have been isolated situations that they've been able to contain and keep away from everybody else. So the idea is just to have everybody cleared and then go to the hub cities and then hopefully not have any other issues and be like soccer right now.
Cool.
No new information released about injuries. Anybody who follows hockey knows that they already have this FBI kind of Area 51 hiding of injuries, and now it's just it's gotten to the point where they just do not discuss any kind of injury problems, whether it be
the guy breaks his leg, they kind of just help him heal.
Yeah,
just keep it moving.
They usually say lower body injury, but now they're just not saying anything. They're just yeah, he's hurt. That's it.
Okay.
They're not going into any details. I find that to be interesting.
It's
Yeah.
a little weird.
It used to be just for competitive advantages, but now I guess they don't want to differentiate who's out with the corona, who's out with anything else. So they just totally nope, that's
we
it.
don't know. He may or may not be around.
So the NFL this week announced that there will be no preseason games, zero preseason games. The limits to how many players can be in camp is just going to be 80. And I guess they'll just decide who's going to make the 55-man rosters.
My microphone is sloping.
There's going to be no fans allowed in MetLife Stadium for these games until further notice. So
I mean, honestly, the way the Jets and the Giants are playing, I'm pretty sure they would have been empty anyway.
Yeah. Personally, I have a lot of football fans that I only see you have to pretty much wait 9 months to see them. And, the first game's always for the Jets is just the best game to go to just because, there's 0-0 and there's just, there's anything can happen. Anything can happen, even though, we already know pretty much what's going to happen. But anything can happen. And it's just that's the reunion one. So it's gonna be tough missing all the other fans that usually attend the games. But aside from that, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime this year. I mean, it's a 4-month season. We're looking at the end of December is when pretty much it ends.
I saw in a couple of articles that there's teams that are considering somewhat of a low attendance opposed to no attendance approach. And, it's like, how expensive are those tickets going to be? You know what I mean? Like,
I know, right, man? Imagine the Patriots, like, they get 15,000 fans and they're just going to charge, like...
$15,000. It's like every ticket. Only 12 of you could come. How much do you got? $1 million.
Yeah. Somebody's got to pay the light bill. I don't know. So the Rams announced that they're leaning toward no fans, but they're gonna have like limited fans as of right now. But I mean, they're going into a $5.5 billion arena, the SoFi Stadium. Hopefully it's SoFi. I don't know. And then I think just eventually everybody's just gonna announce that they're not gonna just have fans. Like that seems to be what the course this is taking.
Well, I think a lot of this is gonna do with the whole vaccine. There's a corona vaccine or not, how quickly it's produced, how quickly it turns everybody into a zombie, and so on and so forth. So assuming that there's at least half of the players in the NFL that don't become zombies from the vaccine, I'm pretty sure that we'll have fans in the stands at some point.
I don't know, and then imagine if it like triggers a steroid test. That'd be great.
Dude, it'd be so great actually if because of COVID everybody can do steroids now because technically you need steroids to help your lungs or whatever.
Yeah, because I mean there's some vitamins that even trigger it, so it's just crazy.
No, so they just right now it almost seems like it's all fair game. Just get on the field, do whatever you got to do. We're not gonna drug test you. We're not gonna do nothing. Just don't die and go play.
We're gonna take it back to the '80s.
Yeah. Yeah, keep that 100 body degree temperature out of here.
All right, so the NBA, the training camps are ongoing, and ESPN's worldwide of sports complex in Orlando. I think I mess that up every single week.
Is it just the worldwide sports complex?
It's ESPN Wide Worlds of Sports Complex.
That's a ridiculous way to format that.
Know, yeah.
That's a tongue twister.
Well, it goes with the commercial that they used to have, or like the brand, but that is a very, very long name. But I mean, this place must be great if it's hosting 45 teams. It's hosting 45 professional teams.
It's hosting all these places, and isn't it in Disney? Like
I don't know. I
don't know where is it. I know it's just Orlando, right?
Yeah, I only found out about it last month.
But I doubt it's in the ghetto in Orlando. It's not in the projects in Orlando.
All I know is that as soon as everything clears up, I am taking a trip to this place.
Yeah,
this must be like a wonderland of sports stuff. It has to be.
Or it's just like a trap house at this point with rampant drug use and hookers. Backpage, is going to get a lot of love in Orlando, I'll tell you that.
So the season resumes 1 week from today.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been nice. It's been nice to see everybody get back in the swing of things. But I think NBA is the one thing that I'm looking forward to the most because I just can't wait how much bitching LeBron was doing before the virus.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive if a player coughs on the court, LeBron's going to stop the game and storm off. I just can't wait to see it actually happen.
Or he might take a flop and get a foul call.
He's going to take a flop, and then he's going to have to get COVID tested right there on the spot. You can't even touch him. Any sweat gets on LeBron.
He's going to get carried off to get it, too.
Stretcher.
So August 17th is when the playoffs start. So it's going to be each team's going to have a couple of regular season games, and they're going to sort it out from there to see who's going to be the 16 teams that end up going. And there's also been no new cases in the world of basketball.
Nice.
Yeah, so that containment's really working. So when players go down in football and baseball because they're traveling all over the place, they'll be able to look at hockey and
see the prime example of how to
hockey,
get things
soccer,
done.
Yeah, and basketball.
Stick to one freaking arena,
that's it, man. Whatever you got to do to make it happen.
Right.
So baseball starts today.
Let's go.
Yeah.
America's pastime.
2 games will be on the slate today, hopefully weather permitting. The Yankees are facing the Nationals with Garrett Cole versus Max Scherzer. And the Giants are visiting the Dodgers. And it's Johnny Cueto who's facing off against...
Johnny Cueto still has a starting
Yeah.
job in Major Leagues. Wow.
Number one starting job. And against Clayton Kershaw. So it's going to be some great action today. There's one note that came in late on my way over here is outfielder Juan Soto, who plays for the Nationals and was tearing it up last year in the playoffs. He is out with the Cove.
Oh,
yeah, it just
yikes.
came down today, so he won't be playing today, or he won't be playing for a couple weeks.
When do the Mets play the Nationals? Anytime soon?
I'm not sure. No,
I hope so.
Tomorrow the Mets start with a slew of pretty much every other team other than these 4 teams. So that's going to be very exciting for everybody else.
Really excited about this season.
Well, I mean, there's always something to watch when the Yankees are on because there's so many haters. So there's something to root for tonight, and then everybody else could just root for everybody else tomorrow.
I just hope that the Nationals and Yankees figure out a way to both lose. Just a 0-0 draw.
Well, it might be because there's rain in the forecast, so we don't know.
There you go.
And then, so it's the start of the 60-game season. Just to go through one more time. So it's going to be the DHs in both leagues. How do you feel about that?
I love the idea of DHs.
Right.
You know what? It's conserving these Mets pitchers, at the maximum. DeGrom, even though he's a great hitter, DeGrom has zero business out here.
And Syndergaard hits a couple homers, doesn't he?
Yeah, man. These are big boys. These
Yeah.
are big guys. You know what I mean? they swing the bat. I'm just scared that they're going to swing it and tear an oblique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Totally.
cramp up somewhere.
And then there's a runner that starts on second base for every extra inning. What do you think about that?
Hurry this shit up.
Yeah.
Hurry this thing up. Let's get out of here.
I don't
Put
like
a man
that.
on third. At this point, put him halfway between third and
And
home.
give the first batter a 3-0 count. And then pitchers must face 3 batters when they come in.
So what does that?
So that there's no more like a lefty specialist. You come in and you just face one batter and then you're out.
Oh, wow.
So a pitcher has to come in and face 3 batters minimum unless they have
Injury or something.
No, unless the inning ends.
Oh.
Yeah. So
you can bring in a pitcher in a 2-out inning and he'll pitch that one guy.
Yep.
He's good.
Yep.
Okay.
But if he doesn't, then he got to pitch to whoever else. And so,
Oh wow, that's.
I mean, the rule's solid. I mean, they're trying to speed up the game. Anybody who goes to a baseball game and doesn't want to spend, if you don't dedicate 4 or 4.5 hours of your life to this baseball game, then just don't go. You know, like there's no other way around it.
So basically, what you're saying is that every Yankee fan should just stop going to baseball games because they essentially just go watch the game and go home.
Well, I mean, if it's Yankees Red Sox, then you got to dedicate like 6 hours of your life.
Because you got to fight off the Red Sox fans.
You should punch in and out when you go to these games, because they're just ridiculously long.
Trust me, I've been to enough Red Sox Yankee. It's just pure entertainment. It's like who can outdrink who.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like Massachusetts douches versus like city douches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say it's more fun in Boston. I've been at the matchup in both places. In Boston, it's a lot more fun because it's a little tighter and the Yankees they don't care who they play anymore. Like the fans just show up there. If it's not the playoffs, they just don't care anymore. It's not the same
it's
energy.
Very dry.
But there's always room to hate the Yankees in Boston, no matter what. Any given situation, they're on it. Unless Derek Jeter retires. That was like the only time that ever happened, and it will ever happen.
Jeter over there. He parked his car over here.
They're not. All right, so. So we're gonna do a little boxing news. What do we got?
What do we have? What's happening here? Are we back? Are we back? Oh, we're going.
The sound is still working.
All right. So yeah.
This is
pure audio at this point.
Inadvertent
Which is
Chien-Ming Wang moment.
You know what?
I think created by me.
I think it's better that it's just voice right now. Like I feel like I got like that Barry White going on, and like the lady's like, "Yo, who the hell is this guy? He's talking sports and he's funny. Oh my god."
I know. Well, if they think about that with my voice, they're just gonna when they see it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's the way that guy looks." Damn. So all right. So let's go into boxing now. We have Dennis talk about a couple
Freaking
boxing that came in.
Great news, man. We got 56, 57-year-old Mike Tyson, whatever. He's pretty freaking old, that's all I know. Taking on a pretty old Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So this should be like a battle of like a AARP. Like, you know what I mean? Like who's most likely to not get a hip fracture is going to be like the way they determine the winner.
And then maybe they go by who's overweight instead of like who's like in weight. They probably don't even care about the classes.
There's no weight. There's no weight class. There's no weight class at all.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I think I actually just heard about the I heard about the idea this morning. And I think it's just great because I mean, let's face it, the heavyweight division isn't anything close to what it used to be when Mike Tyson was the man.
I feel like boxing in general has taken a huge hit. There's some really good boxers coming up though through the ranks. Like there's a few guys that I've seen that are like amazing. You know what I mean? But it's a very nostalgic thing to see Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. You know what I mean?
I'd have to agree.
It takes you right back to like 1998 somehow. You know what I mean? I was doing a lot of bad shit in 1998.
So, all right. So let's get into some more discussion topics. So, the Toronto Blue Jays are homeless right now.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Like, yeah, those Canadian teams they're not doing too great in Major League Baseball. You know?
So, apparently, so Canada blocked them from having home games in Toronto, which is understandable because you don't want to have a bunch of random Americans coming in and out every other day because of the home games.
Right.
So, from Canada's standpoint, it makes sense. So a lot of people are saying like, why hockey's being able to be played in there, but they're trapping them in Canada. So,
right.
But the way baseball's doing it, everybody's shuttling in and out. So, it makes perfect sense from a Canada point of view. But then they were talking about going to Pittsburgh and playing in the Pittsburgh Pirates stadium, but they weren't able to get it finalized. It was either the mayor or the governor yesterday came out from Pennsylvania, and he said that they weren't going to allow the Blue Jays to share the stadium.
That's crazy
Because they don't want to add new people to the spiking that's going on over there, which is kind of I just don't think they wanted to do it. Basically, that's what it sounds like.
So it seems like to me that what's going to end up happening is that these Blue Jays are going to play like in Tallahassee. You know what I mean? And random minor league. They're going to play in like like Idaho.
Yeah. But this is, I mean, this is something that we're in opening day territory. Fortunately, they don't have a home game until next Wednesday, so they have a little bit of wiggle room. But this is
getting close.
This is something that this is unprecedented times. But I mean, you didn't think of what would happen, like crossing country.
No, there's no plan B in the
There,
MLB.
there was a lot of things that went wrong with in this exchange. So the options that are being thrown around as of last night was to have whoever they're supposed to play, like let's say they're due to play the Yankees, which they're in the same division, so they will a bunch. So they'll play at Yankee Stadium, but then be the home team, which is only getting last licks is pretty much the only only benefit there. Or they can play in the AAA affiliate Buffalo, but that's that they'd prefer not to do that because I don't think they can accommodate all the other major league teams going in and out.
Yeah, and those stadiums are a lot smaller too. Like the clubhouses, everything's a lot. It's not MLB quality.
Yeah. I mean, the Blue Jays are a power team though. Like they have a lot of up and comers. They were actually one of my sleeper teams before that. But I mean, if they got to play 60 road games, essentially, that's going to be tough on anybody. But they are a lot of young guys, though. They're a very young team, and if anybody can handle it, I'm sure it'll be them. And
they're used to living in Canada by now, so they should be able to like hunt moose at this point. You know what I mean? Something.
So there was a development last night. Alyssa Nakin was the first woman to coach on the field for a Major League Baseball game.
Wow.
That's
pretty
she's been in the organization since 2014. She took over as a first base coach for the second half of the game. And
what team?
The San Francisco Giants.
Nice.
Yeah.
San Francisco's just a very... They're just always doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, San Francisco. Yo, shout out to San Francisco. Keep it weird.
San Francisco making it happen. I think it's great because, as far as coaching goes, like if you know your X's and O's, you know your X's and O's.
Right. A coach is a coach. Vagina and a penis is not.
There's plenty of coaches out there that have like really only played, like A-ball, or they've just never came through the ranks. So I mean, if you could listen to them, you could listen to a woman. I mean, anybody like a brilliant baseball mind is a brilliant baseball mind. So I think that
I agree.
And
I'm all for the progressive movement.
Yeah, the baseball would be the best one, I think, to handle that transition.
Nice.
So now we're gonna go to baseball. We're gonna do some early favorites. Who do you got? Who you got doing well early in the season?
Well, I'm just gonna go with the Mets. That was a pre-existing X. That was like it just read my mind. My engineer just read my mind. Thanks a lot, bud.
It's like you ran a hook pattern and he just caught you on the 20.
But you know what? No, let's be real though. Like look, who's most likely to overachieve in a 60-game season besides the Mets? The Mets started off super hot last year. You know, what I mean, we start off hot. Like that's a pattern in the New York Mets, and then we just go to crap. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of what I'm actually going to agree with you on this one because I mean the addition of Cespedes when you have the DH slot,
it's huge.
If he can come in and be like a 40-140 kind of player, obviously he can't do that this year. But if he can come in and be that impact fourth, fifth hitter, like that really extends the lineup. And that, like the lineup is scary as it is because they have a lot of hitters. They have a lot of power hitters.
We got Alonso. We have Dom Smith, who never gets to play, and he's terrible in the outfield. Now we can throw him in at DH, and we can kind of split time between Dominic Smith and Cespedes. So, I mean, as long as Cespedes isn't around any bores and not doing no country ranch crap, like, we should be all right. He should play, like, all 60 games. You know what I mean? The guy's just constantly doing dumb shit because he's from Cuba. And trust me, I'm Cuban. I can talk on this, all right? I can say this. But Cuban people, man, they're freaking weird. You know what I mean? They do weird things. They like being rich and, like, doing ranch thing. Like, you like planting potatoes. It's like, you're a freaking millionaire. What the hell are you doing? Like, stop.
So the problem was the bullpen, and the Mets ended up getting the sloppy seconds of the Yankees, and they got Dylan Betances and Chasen Shreve. That disappointed me when I saw Chasen Shreve as a Met.
Listen,
I was like, man, what you guys just
our bullpen
sloppy seconds all over the place.
Our bullpen has always been questionable. We got people like Familia, Diaz, who can be really good. You gotta understand with the bullpen is that we have such a high-low barometer as to say for that it's hard to tell. They could either all be great or all be crap. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if they're all great, listen, if we have a season where we have a healthy Cespedes, I forgot, Jed Lowry's still a Met, by the way. I don't know how, but he's been getting paid by the insurance since we signed him. Like, there's no point of that guy holding a roster spot at all at this point.
Well, I mean, there's also, there's Brandon Nemo and there's Conforto, but if you want to focus on Jed Larry, that's cool.
No, but I'm just saying that we paid this dude a bunch of millions of dollars, and now he's been being paid out by he's not on the field, is my point. So now we have to extend Jeff McNeil. Instead of putting him in the outfield where he should be or playing third base, now he has to play second base and platoon with Cano. Yeah. You know, a 57-year-old Robinson Cano.
I love me some Robinson Cano.
Yeah, because he won with the 1971 Yankees. You know what I mean? Like,
so I think as far as they go, they could definitely win the division. I think, but the one advantage I think is you're gonna have teams that are just gonna have hot starts, and the younger they are and the more inexperienced they are, but if they can move faster, the teams aren't going to be able to adjust to them. So and that's what baseball does. That's why April is one of those months that like people start off really hot, and then the rest of baseball catches up with you. They get the book on you, and then they know how to shut you down.
Once that All-Star break hits, there's much more scouting on you. There's much more time for that. Like that's why you have these players that come out super hot after the All-Star break. Because they weren't in the All-Star game, and they had a week to kind of like review stuff and look at video about the next pitchers that they're gonna face and whatnot.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be the clear-cut advantage for anybody who just gets off to a hot start, and then they could just keep the momentum and then actually get into the playoffs. Like there's gonna be a lot of teams that when you look at the end of the 60 games, you're gonna be like, oh wow, they made it. But that's the advantage that you have with the shorter season. That will be interesting to see how that unfolds. So the Yankees. What do you think about the Yankees
So the Yankees,
from an objective point of view?
no, let's all be real. The Yankees are the Yankees. They do have an amazing team. They're very stacked. They're very young also. You know, they got players like DJ LeMahieu, who's like, I think, one of the greatest players in the MLB right now. Like, he's such a versatile player. He's a very good defensively, he's a good hitter, good home run hitter, whatever.
And he's back from having the cold.
Whatever, screw that guy. But anyway, I just can't wait till you trade Gary Sanchez to the Mets, because I just see it happening, and then we're gonna go back to this video, and it's gonna be like, oh my God, Denstradamus over here.
No, it's cool because when DeGrom ends up taking the MVP when he's at the end of October, we're taking a picture of it in Yankee uniform.
Oh, that's not how you're gonna get him. That's not how you're gonna get him. You're gonna get him with Syndergaard.
Yeah, I like Syndergaard too. Syndergaard could do it if he stays healthy though. That's the only problem.
Speaking of staying healthy, I thought this was a half an hour show. We're like, oh shit, 4 minutes. It's hot.
All right, so next. So
yo, wrap it up. It's fucking 90 degrees out here.
So next week we're gonna have Pin Man and Cowbell Man, who are two legendary Mets fans, come in here, and
Nikki and Edwin.
Yeah, it's
very good guy.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. So the Mets cutout idea. What are we thinking?
So I think they're terrible. First of all, there's no like structure to them, and it's like it'd be some little kid's face super close, and then like an old man like 7 feet away. It's like there's no depth. Like I feel like my face is like confused by the distance. It's like there's no standard. Like what I would have done if I was the Met, I would have created a template and be like, hey, put your face here, and take a picture, and then it's like a normal standard.
Right.
No, I think they just took any photo. It's like a guy on a beach. You know what I mean? And a cutout. Like, you're sideways. Like, where's the rest of you? And then on top of that, they're charging $86 plus tax.
Right. What? So
the Mets and the Wilpons continue to rob you, even when there's no fans in the stands.
Well, it's $86 to commemorate the 1986 World Series.
I heard it is charitable. But it would be even more charitable if they gave that shit back to you. Like that's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's going to a pandemic effort. Supposedly all the money's going into it. So you're looking at
the pandemic effort, the Save the Wilpons.
Yeah, we're looking at a little less than $500,000. Going to these charities. So, for seeds that are not going to get used anyway, and then you're giving somebody a job because when it rains, they have to bring them in probably. They're not keeping them out there 24/7. That's good. So, I like the idea. I heard that more teams are going to try to implement that. And actually, I saw on TV Cowbell Man and Pin Man were on there.
For the cutout.
Yeah, that was fun.
You gotta have stadium legends, and those two guys there. You don't go to a game and you don't see Nicky Pinman walking around and Cowbell Man, bopping his cowbell.
Yeah, definitely.
Need more cowbell.
So, all right. So the New York Islanders have a new arena. It's the USB Arena, named after a Switzerland-based bank in Long Island, and they got a 20-year agreement.
Oh, nice. It's also named after my charger.
And the NHL has a new franchise, the Seattle Kraken.
Wow.
Yeah, released the Kraken. This is it's like a seahorse looking logo.
It's too easy. It's too easy. I can't even call it what I want to call it because we all know what I want to say.
What they're gonna play at the crack house? Is what you want to say?
No. They're a bunch of Krakens.
Yeah.
Look at them crackers over there.
Totally exploded. This is supposed to be some methodical, like sea lion kind of.
Yeah, it's like
thing.
a sea monster.
Yeah. It's a fun idea. It's different. They love attention. They want to get the
Seattle loves
attention.
being different.
Yeah.
Those stoners. But just
all right. And finally, today, what is the craziest thing you've ever done for sports?
Did a 30-minute talk show where I was sweating to death. It was like 700 degrees.
All right. So the craziest thing I've ever done was I sold my TV to go to the Yankees Islanders game in Yankee Stadium.
Oh.
Yeah. And I stayed without a TV for 9 months.
Oh, hey, jeez.
Yeah.
How much was that TV? It's like $7 million, $7,000.
It was worth it. They haven't been back since, so it's definitely worth it. That is our show for this week. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the LDM Radio Sports Talk.
Take it easy. Thanks for having me.
Dennis Herrera, Alfonso Caldero. We'll see you back next week with Pinman and Cowbell Man. Thank you. Oh, we're on for 1 hour next week. Is it on?
Air going in here.